Hey, some friends of ours are running a Kickstarter right now, and today's the last day you can go support it. It is called Fruity Tooties. It is these adorable little fruit musical instrument pins that you can get. There is a link in the description down below. Go support it. Today's your last chance. The creators, Wendy and Wallflower, are good friends to me and Bones, and you should go support them because they're really cool. Okay. Go check it out right now and then come back and watch this. Alrighty, on to the video. Hello. So today I'm working some more on 9-point thumbnails. Not too much more can be said that I didn't really cover in the last vlog. I had planned to do more thumbnails this week than I did. However, things got very busy and it was not meant to be, which is fine. So for the most part, it's just been reading through the script again and going over these thumbnails and trying to improve them and make them more dynamic. I've been trying to play around a bit more with panel size and shape, and hopefully that will make things more dynamic, I guess. Because I definitely have fallen into a rhythm where I do the same panel layouts over and over again. But it's nice to just try new panel layouts. I remember when I started doing Sovereign, years ago, I would do any kind of panel I could think of just to keep it interesting, which was great because I did occasionally get a really cool looking panel. But then I kind of stopped doing that just because I got into a rhythm of things, and it's nice to go back and try things out. I think for a while I just had it in my head that if I did any different panel layouts, it would feel too different stylistically from the rest of the comic because I'd already committed to doing these very similar looking panels. But heck that, 9-point is new and I can do whatever I want. And I think I gotta stop worrying about that stuff because if I let myself just have fun and try out new interesting ways to make comics, it'll turn out fine. And as long as it's interesting to look at and I improve in my art, it's all good. I did run into trouble with one scene in here. You'll see I skip a few pages at one point for thumbnails. And it's just because Bones and I brought up, we weren't exactly sure how to do the panels, and I think I kind of skipped out on doing the visual development for this one scene. So I think I need to go back and maybe sketch out a few high-res visual dev ideas and kind of nail it down in my head so I can show Bones this is what it'll look like when it's finished, so that it's not just left to the thumbnails to describe everything, because the thumbnails should be very quick and dirty, I guess. So I need to go back and do a little bit more prep work. So maybe I will do that this upcoming week. Who knows? Heck dang. So I'll just be finishing up these thumbnails, hopefully this week, and then eventually I will show them to Bones again, and then one day I will do the colors. One day. I'm not going to make any promises on when, because I know I'll just not meet the deadline because, make plans, they don't happen. I'm just an overachiever, and I want to get things done quickly, so I'm if I say it out loud, it'll happen quickly, but that is not how it goes. So that's where I'm at with 9-point. Like I said, it was a very busy, kind of stressful week this week, so I didn't get a lot of extra artwork done. I got kind of sick on Thursday and Friday, it was just a really minor cold, but so I just had a sore throat, and I was really headachy and kind of achy all over, and super tired, I was super exhausted, which was really cruddy, because I was I don't feel sick enough to take a day off, but it made doing lots of things very, it made it just a little bit harder to get through the day, which was kind of cruddy, and I'd complain to people, and they'd be that doesn't sound so bad, and I was oh, I guess you're right. So I trekked on through it. Though on Friday, I did stay home from my day job and just worked from my house, because I was you know what? I might have a very light version of this cold, but someone else could get it and have a really bad cold, probably. So I'm just gonna stay out of here and not infect anyone. And now I feel better, so I'm glad I took a day to rest a little bit. And other than that, it was just lots of chores, lots of busy work this week. And Bones and I, at the end, we were very I'm tired, I don't want to do anything. So that has been our weekend. We haven't done very much, which is really nice. We've just been hanging out and playing games and reading a bunch. So it's all good. And hopefully next week I will get more 9-point done, more Magpie done. I want to start making videos early, because, like, I get them done on time, like, before we have to post them. However, it would be nice to have a little bit of a buffer so that I'm not working on them constantly, and I never have a night where I'm like, oh shoot, I have a video tomorrow, I better do my recording right now. Yeah, it'll just be nice to have a little leeway for those weeks where it's very, very busy. And because we were posting like every day in December, and we did that in October as well, like I don't think we've had very much time to just sit and like get a buffer going or get ahead on our YouTube work. So that is what I intend to try to do. Also, looking at the new thumbnail work, because like I said in the last vlog, Bones pointed out to me, like, oh, these panels aren't very dynamic, like, maybe go look at some examples of how other comics have done it, and I pulled out, like, a bunch of books of, like, some of my favorite comics, and I looked through them, and I was like, dang, I don't read a lot of comics these days. It just kind of made me realize that. So I was like, I really want to just read more comics. Like, I read a lot. I read a lot of, novels, because I can listen to them in audiobook form. And I usually do that while I work on my comics. So I read a lot, but I don't read a lot of comics. And I used to read way more. Like, before I started, like, working on comics, and it got harder when I started making comics and, like, working a full-time job. But I used to read a ton. I used to read a ton of manga. I used to read a ton of webcomics. And now I don't do that so much. And I think a big part of that is just, like, my schedule doesn't afford much time to, like, sit down and read something. Because, like I said, I get through a lot of novels because I have audiobooks. But I do have a big stack of, like, print books that I really want to read, but I don't have a lot of time to read. And I guess just, yeah, the same goes for comics. I have a whole bunch of comics bookmarked on my browser that I really want to read, like new ones that have come out in recent years and like ones I've been meaning to catch up on. And I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm always busy. And like I haven't even been really keeping up with like my favorite webcomics ever. So like I can't remember the last time I sat down and read one of my faves. So I should do that more. I think I need to add it to my to-do list to start reading more comics. Cuz like I find in recent months and years, like every once in a while I'll find a comic and I'll sit down and read it. And I will like binge the whole thing in a day, which is really great. However, it happens like once every several months, so I don't get a lot of reading done on comics. And I also do tend to read comics more when I have a print book, but I don't really pick up print versions of my favorite webcomics until like convention season, which is in the summer. So during the winter, I don't get a lot of like webcomic books to read. I should probably order them online. But yeah, once I have a print book, it gets easier to read because then I have a physical book that I can like breeze through, and it's a lot easier to sit down and read a comic like in print than it is to read like a novel in print, because a comic I know I can read through in a day. A novel will take like a couple of weeks to get through. But yeah, I really need to get into reading comics because I think it'll spark my love of them every time I find a really good one. Because I think that's really important when you are doing creative things, is you need to like experience what other people are doing in order to rejuvenate your enthusiasm. Because like it's really easy when you're working on a project to be like, I guess, in your head too much about it and feel like really bogged down, and like you know, you can get stressed or self-doubty or whatever it is, and it can be really hard to like be passionate about your project, especially really long projects. So I find like I always have to like rekindle my love of comics. I was thinking about that today. I was like, every time I'm always having to like convince myself to be excited about this thing. Even though like a week ago I was really excited about this, but now I'm not. And then the following week I'll be really excited about it, and it just kind of comes in waves. So it's really good to have things that like always get me hype about it. And reading really good comics gets me hype about making comics. And doing like a critique really gets me excited about comics, and the actual physical working on a comic gets me excited about it. I find like the hardest thing about sitting down and making comics is like getting my butt in the chair and starting to work, because as soon as I start working I'm fine. But yeah, there's just so much work that I have to do to get into the mindset where I'm excited. So yeah, hopefully reading more comics will do that for me. And I also really want to just like get in there and heckin' support other people and read their comics more that I haven't. So yes, hey man, if you have any good webcomic recommendations, leave them down below. Who knows, maybe I've read them, maybe I haven't, maybe I will discover a diamond in the rough or something, I don't know. It's really nice to have my throat feeling good. It was hard to do videos when my throat hurt. My voice kept squeaking in the last video I did this week on Thursday, the beginner mistakes. Like, I had to do so many retakes because my voice would just go like, ew. It was real bad. So maybe I will start to put some time into my schedule to read more comics. So, in my Habitica, if you've never heard of Habitica, I mean, Bones has talked about it recently because we started a Habitica guild in our Discord, which you are free to join. Just go into the Discord. There's a channel called Habitica that you can go into, and you can join our little group. And we've set up a challenge where people can get their comic work done. And all this to say, I have totally skipped over what Habitica is. So Habitica is just like an app that gamifies productivity. So it's like an RPG, but in order to get skill points and experience and items, you have to do your to-do list. And you can make your to-do list whatever you want. So I have in my Habitica to spend 30 minutes every day on art. And I have one to do 10 minutes of writing every day. And I have one that's like 10 minutes of reading every day. But maybe I should just like put in a new little to-do or new daily thing to start reading like 20 minutes of comics every day so that I can just catch up on some webcomics. Maybe I'll start small and I won't do it like every day because I don't want to go hard on a new to-do when I'm already feeling very overwhelmed and busy all the time. So maybe I will make it a really easy thing, do it like every other day or once a week. I just spend 20 minutes reading comics and I will read more, hopefully. Because I find as soon as I put stuff into my to-do list, especially in Habitica where there's like daily things that always like reappear, I actually do it. Like for the longest time I wanted to do writing and then I put 10 minutes of writing into my Habitica and now I actually do it. So there you go. Good motivator. Go check out our Discord and join our guild if you want to jump on the productivity train, my friends. I also really want to get back into like reading manga. I used to love it when I was like 12 and I had lots and lots of time to just go to the library and the bookstore and find like new manga to read online all the time. But now I'm like, one, I'm a grown-up, so I want to actually like pay for my manga. I was real bad. I used to like pirate that stuff. But now, yeah, I'm like, which publishers do I look at to get the good books that appeal to me? And where do I find out about new series? Because like I hear about like the really, really big names, but like I miss my little like tiny manga that was like 3 volumes long, but really, really good. And yeah, so I need to go investigate and find more good stuff. Because like my work was very inspired by manga when I first got into comics. And then I discovered webcomics and like my brain exploded with like love and good vibes. But yeah, so I want to get back into that stuff and read more and support the community more. And there we go. Those are my dreams. Those are my goals. And hopefully it'll motivate me to do many more comics. And yeah, and also like whenever I look at a really good comic panel, it makes me want to make my comic panels better. So I just need more inspiration in my life. I need to seek it out instead of trying to like only rely on my brain to make things good. Sometimes you gotta go get your references and break down the good stuff other people are doing and apply it to your own work. Okay, I think that is all I have. Thank you for listening. Thank you for believing in me. That's another thing. This week, when we posted, like, the beginner mistakes video, I was really scared. I was like, I feel like people are gonna be really mad about this, and I was really nervous, and I didn't look at comments, like, all week, and then I looked at them the other day, and I was like, oh, everyone's really nice. So thank you guys for being very positive. And you guys are all really sweet, and I love your support. You were also really supportive on the last vlog I did, where I was, like, hating on myself for not doing very good panels, and you guys were so sweet. And you guys are great. So thank you very much for making my day a lot brighter, and, for making me joyful. Thanks, guys. Okay, so, like I said, thank you so much for listening. Tomorrow, Bones will be streaming on Twitch at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, so go check him out. Go check out our Twitch channel. It's in the description. Go check out our Discord. It's also there. And come talk to us and hang out with us. And I will see you later. Goodbye.